Hey guys, it is Sean Duncan from the BFD Advisors, and this is Sharon Fuller. And that is Dawn Brolin. We are BFD, and we have Kat and Will here from Corpay, and so they're going to talk to us a whole bunch of stuff. They're actually going to make us smarter. That's really the goal, is they want to make us smarter.
I just have to throw a pun in real quick. Will he help us today? Get it?
Yeah.
Come on, it's funny.
Is he gonna let the cat out of the bag?
I thought I was the dad jokes.
No,
So apparently, okay, now I got to step up my game on the horrible.
Oh my god, I didn't mean to start that crap.
It'll be puntastic for like the next half hour. It's going to get worse. All right, so today we're going to talk a lot about cash flow. And of course, for some reason people like cash. I don't know why. It tends to help businesses operate. There's this whole function that goes with it. But first, I want to learn a little bit more about Kat and Will. I know Kat's my buddy. She's a travel friend. She travels like a maniac, so we talk about that stuff a lot. But tell us a little bit about you guys. If there's some deep, dark secrets you want to share, then
Now it's time.
this is it. This is
Just admit those
the
things.
more embarrassing that your coworkers are standing.
Nobody watches this, so really, it'll feel good for you to just let it out and off your shoulders.
Thousands of people. Go ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm Kat Sloan. I'm a sales manager at Corpay One, and I've been working here for about almost 2 years. I've been in this space for a little over 3 years, and I'm obsessed. I love working with accounting firms. I don't care what they say, but you guys are actually fun.
We are fun.
Yeah,
We talked about
we are
this.
fun.
We talked about a whole podcast about how ridiculous we are. And Kat is, not only she's smart, she's organized. She has notes here. If you notice, of all of us, she's got bullet points. And I'm like, oh, that's actually a good point. Oh my God.
Wait, y'all remember the first few podcasts where we actually had laptops up?
Yeah.
We actually weren't even using them. That was just like, look, we're
That ended after that.
This is legit. Like,
Yeah.
he's prepared. So now what we're going to do is do everything shows you cannot talk about.
Oh.
We're going to go ahead and just go completely off script.
There we go.
Yeah.
But she is organized. Will, sorry.
So,
behind you.
Will Luckert, I have been with Corpay. I'm the president of Corpay One.
Holy crap.
I
We're
know
so
I need to wear it down, Press.
It's
royal.
Have you always been president, or is this new?
I have always been president for 4 whole weeks.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I mean, for every minute of those 4 weeks.
For every minute.
Okay.
Of Corpay
I've
One.
thought about it. I've thought about nothing else except for my wife and family.
Oh,
Thank you.
I miss my dogs.
So I've been in this industry for 6 years. I came from Capital One, where I was there first.
Okay.
Hey, I have a Capital One.
Wait, Capital One where? Virginia or Dallas?
Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was the
My
CEO.
wife works at Capital One.
Wow.
In Dallas.
We can have a
Small
whole
world.
other
That's a whole different
conversation.
thing.
Yeah.
See, we learned something
There's
new.
Next
40,000
podcast.
people there, so I'm sure I know her.
You,
Oh.
hey, you got a slide on the campus. They have a slide in their campus. I know that's not what we're talking about
We
today.
have alcohol on our table.
Go ahead, Will.
My
no.
deep dark secret is I sang in college, so
What do you sing? Acapella, like Pitch Perfect style?
not that good, but like more Glee Club style. So
Alrighty.
Closes out today.
Wait. Prove it.
Yeah. Sing Corpay. Corpay is the best.
Corpay is the best.
Oh!
Okay.
You're the
Right.
first person we've ever got to see
Yeah,
on this
I
circuit.
love it.
There we go.
After 2 or 3 of those, I might more.
That may be
stuff
the next
I-
one.
More stuff. Go ahead.
She
That's
dancing
awesome.
as well.
Well,
Cash, guys. Cash.
Okay, so Dawn, cash flow.
Talk us back into our topic
Yeah.
because we have ADDDD.
well, obviously, cash flow is super important, and not only cash flow, but how you're managing it and who has access to it.
Yeah.
So what does it
Really
mean when
important.
people say cash flow?
Yeah, what does that
What
mean?
does it mean? Because the problem is business owners don't even think
does
about
that
it. They
mean,
go, it just shows up, right? Like,
No, listen, cash flow is, you're not in business if you don't have cash. Well, cash is king. And so how you manage it and how you process it and how you accept it or how you pay it out, whichever way it may go, as cash flow is money coming in, money going out. And so monitoring that, and most importantly for me, I'm a certified fraud examiner, so I'm all about the fraud aspect. And so cash is really, really important. You've got to protect your cash, period. Going in and coming, going in.
So
going
let's just start with
Yeah,
maybe a basics, which is like there is cash in a bank account somewhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And then the flow part is just what are you sending to to your vendors,
Okay.
and then there's a what are you taking in from your customers. It's
Okay.
like super simple ins
Yeah.
and outs. I'm pretty sure I took an accounting class at some point.
Okay.
But like, in all seriousness, like then it becomes more complicated when you actually start to say, like, well, how am I paying somebody?
Right.
Yeah.
Is it on
Yeah.
credit?
Yeah.
Am I taking on debt? Am I borrowing to get that cash? How do I access that? And then there's
Yeah.
the second one, which is how long do I have to wait to get paid?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So there's a couple things, and everybody has a different opinion on this. We've got a lot of people here with a lot of opinions. How much cash is good to have? Like if somebody says my cash flow, how much as a business should I have in my bank account to be comfortable? Like what's ideal? And when should I actually pay things with cash or pay things with credit? Because a lot of people, so I keep seeing on Facebook, what's the guy that tells you not to have credit cards?
Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey.
That's
He's like, if you have a
terrible.
credit card,
We don't like Dave
if you
Ramsey.
have a mortgage, if you have a card loan, I'm like, Dave,
It's not realistic.
no, you're dumb. Guys, so that is like the dumbest thing ever. If I can get a
Yeah.
mortgage for 2%, which some of us did a couple years ago,
2.25 right here, baby.
why am I going to spend
Wow.
$800, $500, $300,000 of my cash and put it into a house, and when I can borrow it at 2%?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a smart way, but that's another way to keep your
Yeah.
cash, right? Sometimes financing, using your credit cards to pay bills is a
Long-term
way to
goal.
keep
Absolutely.
you having
Yeah.
cash flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I asked and answered my own question, so I'm going to let you guys
Oh,
elaborate.
maybe just add, and then Kat, you should add too, because you got bullet points here. But
Yeah.
But
he's
I think
loaded.
there's a difference
I
between
covered
short-term
that.
leverage and long-term leverage. And I
Yeah.
think
Yes.
what you're talking about, like long-term leverage of a long-term borrowing, means that you at least know that you've got cash flow to pay that off.
Yes.
Right? You're borrowing for a mortgage when you believe your income is going to cover that mortgage.
Or the equity or whatever I
Yeah.
have is going to cover the
Right.
value. I'm definitely going to make sure the assets I have cover the liability.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a second piece, which is short-term leverage. I have always been more conservative on that, which is you at least want 60 days of like, I know I can pay my bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and you know, you're using credit cards largely to get rebates or rewards. You're not using credit
Yeah.
cards to actually generate
No.
leverage.
Right.
No.
If you're using credit cards to generate leverage,
It's a different conversation.
That is
Yeah.
different.
Right.
You should definitely, as a end user, be using your credit cards and spend as much as you can on your credit cards to get those points, to build up
Yeah.
your business credit. Don't pay a cent of interest.
Yeah.
Pay that off
Always
in the
pay it
month.
off.
You guys, have a Corpay One credit card for my company, and it sits all in my thing, and all the transactions come through, and then it auto pays.
Yeah.
So I actually have one, and I love it. I love how it goes into the app. But that's what I do. I think I all see us pull out our Amexes that I know don't have the balance. You just have to pay them off the next month. But that's not
You know
every
what's
do that.
interesting too, and it's funny because of course I work with Eric because he's the absolute best employee you have. Best employee is Eric, just saying. And so Eric and I have been working so well together. Sorry, it's just Eric. Where is he? He's not even
Yeah.
here.
Where'd he go?
Eric.
I'm plugging the guy. But at the end of the day, it was interesting. We had some great conversations around the fact that, and Brooke, that at the end of the day, think of a nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
Think about how your money is ebbing and flowing,
Yeah.
and who has that card in their hands.
Yeah.
I have a client we just moved over to Corpay because they give their employees debit cards.
What?
Wow.
I don't even want
Debit
any. I don't even want the
cards.
company. I
Yeah.
get that debit card. And I usually get the number just so we have it, and I shred
Cut
it.
it, yeah.
I tell them don't put recurring charges on your debit card. Put it on your credit card.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if something happens to that, you shred the credit card, you get a new one, you're
Yeah.
safe. If something happens to your debit card, they drain your bank
Yes.
account and you're screwed. Don't use a debit card. Don't use a debit card.
And that brings up
I
a
feel like
really
you
good.
should swear in the middle of that.
Don't use a debit card.
Will understands
Yeah.
this. But of course, Kat has some wisdom to share because she's like,
Kat has a bullet point.
I got something to say.
No, but you bring up a really good point. Is this this need for control?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what people come to us looking for. It's
Yes.
like, hey, like we've got a team of 20 people, and we need to know not only what they're spending their money on, but we need to set up limitations so that we can control that.
Well-
So, like, how much are they spending on this card? What can they spend the card on?
Right.
You have that. That's also what your stuff does.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't even know. I don't even use it for that. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I just use it for the awesomeness that it's in the app. It's in with my bills. My bills go in, and I can
Yeah.
actually pay my bills with my credit card right there if I want to. I use it for that. I didn't even know it's got that
I
extra
know.
jump.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
Well, the-
visibility.
Yeah, and the other piece too that's important, and I'd love to use this one client as an example, is they're using debit cards, and I'm like, okay, so where are the receipts for everything? And they're like, oh, we don't really get those.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? So your guy goes to the mobile station, spends whatever money. You don't know if it's got, candy and sodas and coffee,
Yeah.
which you don't mind them spending that on. But
Yeah.
guess what? That's a different line item on your P&L,
It
number
is.
one. And number two, when you're thinking about that, capturing that receipt is so important.
Yeah.
So from a fraud
Yeah.
perspective, you're just letting people go rogue with your cash flow.
With
What
your
are
money.
they doing?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Will brought up the core concept is it's money in, money out, which is oversimplifying this whole thing, of course.
Yeah.
But there's so many sub elements that you have to manage and control to make sure you understand what's going on.
Yeah.
We've talked about credit card spend and fraud, but how fast you collect your money. We had that in
Yeah.
a different podcast, how fast you collect your money. Business owners hear this cash flow thing and they assume it means more sales. And that's never really what the answer is. I mean, it helps, but it's an element of this grander scheme of planning and advice.
It's strategic. It's
But-
strategic
yeah.
money management to keep as much cash in your bank, leverage and utilize every option available that's smart to keep as much cash in your bank account because cash is key.
Yeah.
But the business owner gets so overwhelmed with all the choices, the different ways to do it. It's anything you do to make it better is going to make it better.
Yeah.
So if you're controlling your spend and you're watching the people at the gas station, or if you've got some other way where you're verifying what they're spending money on, that's one tool.
Yeah.
But then how fast you're going to collect your money is another tool. And if you're a business owner, because our audience are business owners and accountants, because if you're an accountant, you're helping them with this, please pay attention and help them with this. But it's understanding you just keep modifying and improving each
Yeah.
small element. There's no one shot to this, and this is the problem I have clients come in all the time. They go,
Yeah.
well, help me with my cash flow. There's no
Yeah.
one solution.
No, there's
you
so
have to
many
Yeah, you have to
factors that
analyze.
go into it.
Yes.
I mean, you should be doing regular audits of your tech stack.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
what is my tech stack doing for me in terms of cash flow? Am I spending a ton of money on going to 5 different applications when I could really just use one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Consolidation. That's an awesome point. I actually just saved something like $1,500 a month just by consolidating down
Yeah.
2 pieces
Yep.
of software into
Yep.
a single one.
Yep.
Because I didn't even know that new software replaced
Yep.
it. And so
Yeah.
it's constantly reevaluating and reinventing it a little bit. You got to be able to own this business and control it.
There is certainly a trend to moving to one platform that controls multiple
Yeah.
dimensions of the business.
And if not all of them, but
No.
at least you can save 2, 3, 4,
That's right.
and then you
Yeah.
get
And the reality is, like, I ran a small business over the course of this last year as well. I was in a startup, and then I had a small business on the side. And when you start realizing, like, okay, revenue matters more than anything else, right?
Yeah.
Where
Yep.
are my customers? Where do I get my customers? How do I find my customers? If I'm a small business owner, I am just massively paying attention to that problem. Then I have a second one, which is, okay, who are my employees? And are my employees ready? And are they trained? And are they prepared? And are they going to stay with me? And how do I find more?
Yeah.
And that is massively hard. So, like, the reality is, like, all of these things are like, yeah, I got to do cash flow too.
Yeah.
But I'm so engrossed in
Yes.
spending time on those other pieces. So, which is why, like, if you only have one tool to go to get visibility on your
Yeah.
cash flow,
You're
way
spinning
better
fewer
than having.
plates. Right?
Yeah.
You're not trying to keep all those plates spinning.
Whenever, I don't know if you guys watched we had a podcast, I think, about technology. Didn't we? Did we have something about technology?
I don't remember.
Leveraging
Sometimes
technology.
we talk about
We
that.
showed up. We just talk.
And when I talk about when I do some of my my education, I always tell people low hanging fruit. Automate the first thing, the easiest thing, which is your payables.
Yeah.
Get into a software, automate that, and from there it's simple. And I mean, I know there's way more to it, but I think we're coming to the end where we want to
Yeah.
ask you.
Well, that's actually what I was going to
Okay,
do. Yeah.
cool. So that leads into
Sharon just kept going, so I really couldn't find a way to interrupt her. So I just figured I'd let her go. She was head on a roll.
die mad about it, Sean.
Yeah. All right. So you guys, what is your BFD? What is the BFD about Corpay that we need to know? The thing that's the big change and stuff that we want to understand.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's really what we just chatted about is having everything in one place. So Corpay One, we are an all-in-one spend management solution. So OCR scanning to accurately capture the information from those bills, the receipts, the credit notes, push it all over in real time into the accounting system so that you can make better choices with your cash forecasting and get accurate data. But I'd say the biggest deal is that we do this at basically no cost.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
how much
that's
is it a
so-
month?
Like, there's no annual fee,
No
there's
user
no monthly
fee.
fees, there's no scanning fees.
There's actually no fee if you pay your stuff via ACH.
I know. It's
I don't know how you. I don't know. So they're a nonprofit. They don't get paid.
Yeah.
They
These guys are here volunteering.
They're
They
paid
don't
in
have cash
alcohol.
flow. There's no cash to flow.
No,
So
there's
that's just what it
not.
is.
you know, and we
I think we're all
obviously have
Corpay.
revenue
Oh, yeah.
streams.
BFDs of Corpay
Yep.
customer
Absolutely.
actually. So
Yeah, you guys have several firms that actually use us.
Yes.
So, you know, obviously the price point's a factor.
Yes.
But I think really it's consolidating your bill pay, your expense reports,
Spend management,
Capture.
Spend management.
internal control.
They have their own.
Exactly.
As the actual customer, my favorite thing, and we make our clients use it. We used to have them use a different software. I'm not going to get into names, but the problem was, is we wanted to use a accounting or a AP software for the efficiency for us. You send us a bill, we have your approval method. This is how we do it. This is our process.
Exactly.
The problem is that to put them on that efficiency for us as the accounting for it to be efficient is costing either us or the firm a lot of money.
Yeah.
So if I have a client that only does 2 to 3 bills a month, but they need to have 6 different approvers, I'm paying $25 per user per month to pay 2 bills.
Exactly.
I'm paying $175 to pay 2 bills.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we moved them to Corpay and they love it. They're like, I have my 2 bills, I pay for that. Oh, we can pay this one credit card for our cash flow.
Yeah.
Our clients absolutely love that they can use their credit card in here for their cash flow.
Yeah.
And it all kind of ties in. And the approval system to me is, a lot of people are like, why would I not just use books? And to me, of course, the spend management, the credit card, the approval process is,
The workflows
I'm
are-
passionate about fintech, guys. We've talked
She's
about this, right?
Yeah.
Go
That's
ahead,
why.
Kara.
Let her go. Well, so Will, 4 weeks in.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
So what are you going to fix next year? Like, what's the big win?
Fix. What's on the roadmap? Is there something to fix?
Hey, there's always some.
Look, I think we as I would say with every fintech, there's always features that we can work on, and you guys could probably tell me the better features to focus on over the course of the next year.
Yep.
I think more than anything else, it's continuing to get our name out as much as anything else. We're
I
pretty
agree with
new
that.
in
Yep.
this space, and we have a great history in the EU. In Denmark, we are not as well known in the US. I think
Oh, wow.
that is work for us. We're the market leader in Denmark.
Oh, wow.
I have a fun
It's
fact
fun.
about
You know-
Denmark. I dated a high school boy from Denmark. He was an exchange student, and I think it was because of his accent. So that's a fun fact about
So
Denmark.
what he just
We just
promised,
talked about
I
accents.
know what he's doing.
Uh-oh.
Will has just promised BFD will do a podcast from Denmark, so we can support
Yay,
the.
but you have to send us
Yeah.
to Denmark.
Yes,
my
I'm just
God.
saying these are the requirements.
Bob's over there going, that's not in my expense
Yeah,
account.
I think
Bob's
I
like,
have
I'll
changed my
control that
pricing
customer.
to that.
Yeah.
Bob, so there is absolutely no bar tab.
Okay, so
All right.
to wrap it up, obviously we have a lot of passion around this topic, which is awesome.
And we all love this product.
Absolutely.
And we're pretty picky, but we all individually with our firms and BFD utilize this product. And I really do love it. I recommend.
So cash flow, obviously, in itself as a concept is key. This is one of those massive solutions that can help a business owner, accountants give advice to their business owner. That's the point of what we're trying to talk about. So I want to thank everybody. BFD Advisors podcast. Here we are. We're live from QuickBooks Connect, which is why you hear all the noise in the background. Check us out on the next session. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Awesome.